Favorite interview? Go back straight away to Sophie. Yeah,
Gonna have to think on that one, aren't you?
no, that's why I was like, okay, Sophie, I need to
Charming,
switch from
thank
this
you.
question.
Oh wow.
How many have we done? It's like so many. I mean, obviously we've got to mention Jennifer Hale. I mean, the Hex Girl Thorn. Especially when she started singing, like we were all like awestruck. We were like, oh my god, like a Hex Girl's actually singing to us. Um, I think one of my favourite ones was I've now got four, right? And I'm trying to pick my favourite one.
We could do like top
And it's one
three.
that actually surprises me the most. So I like that one as well. Right, so obviously you got Jennifer Hale.
Hmm.
Another good one was Billy West.
Oh wow.
I think one that also JB liked was Victor Cook.
That was mad,
But
yeah.
personally, for me, and I really enjoyed talking to him, was Tom Conkle, who wrote a few episodes from Be Cool Scooby Doo. I thought we all kind of really gelled really nicely in that interview, and it was so easy going, and it was so informative because Be Cool's are my favourite series. Tom Conkle and Zach Moncrief, we've spoken to them both, and I like shining a light on them two because I like to talk positively about Be Cool, and all they had was positive like information to give us, which that was what I was really like appreciative of. So yeah, I think Tom Conkle just, I think he was my favorite.
They were all very
I
good.
like that because that was one of the Christmas ones we did. And yeah, he wrote like Giant Problems. Or he was in Giant Problems, and yeah, I love the Be Cool ones. I do love them.
JB, we're putting you on the spot
You know my
because you
answer.
expected me to go to Dan next. I know you did.
My answer's always this because it has to be. Right now, it's the Jennifer Hale interview, and when the next one comes out, it'll be that one. Like it always has to be that way. Because if I fall in love with interview 20, I probably would never get to interview 50. If I fall in love with interview 100 all the time, we're never going to get to 150. So my one's always this probably sounds diplomatic, a bit politician-y, but my favorite's always going to be the one that's just premiered because it has to be. So
No, that's
yeah,
good. We need a politician among us. Dan, what about you?
Sunak.
Yeah, yeah, Jennifer Hale and Zach Moncrief definitely stand out. They were really fun interviews to do, and they were really nice because I know they both spoke to us sort of once we stopped recording as well, which I
Mm.
really appreciated. But honestly, the one that really stands out to me is the one that me and JB did with Maggie Rocher, is her name, I
Yeah.
think. I just because I just thought she was so lovely and so sweet. I just found her really a delight to interview. So that just stands out as my favorite. Even though I didn't even know who she was before we
Mm.
did the interview, I just thought she was lovely. So that one probably my favorite.
That was my most surprising one actually, because I went into it thinking that it could be the most awkward interview ever.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of just pure, maybe it was less formal, but in terms of just
Yeah.
pure energy, like flow, I think it's one of the ones that flowed the best. So it's
It
definitely the
was
one that
so
surprised me the
easy.
most.
Yeah.
I really like that as well because I think quite often, certainly, I think, for me 5 years ago when I was a lot younger, people had been quite defined by the projects that they'd worked on, whereas we're all now at a position where it's kind of like this person as a person is genuinely incredible.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Hale, I want her to be my life coach, to be quite honest. Like, I don't think I've met a more motivational person. She's honestly incredible. Um, so that interview was certainly exceptional. I mean, Neil Fanning was a dream one.
Mm.
Um, Even just for some of the conversations that happen after interview, like I know we sat and spoke for a considerable amount of time with like Bex Wallace and things like that. That was certainly a notable one. And I think for me, I can't use the word favorite, but most prominent would have to be the I was going to say the Loch Ness one. Oh my god, the Joe Sictor one, purely because of that Loch
Yeah.
Ness book. Like, I'm not an emotional person. Like, I literally work in an office full of men that are like, oh, I couldn't imagine you ever crying. Seeing that initial pitch for the Loch Ness, I was tearing up crying to the point where he was so lovely that he was like, oh, well, because Millie cried, I'll send you these pictures so you can actually see the pages. I was like, oh my gosh, yay.
I mean, just so many people have been really kind to us. Like I remember when Christopher Keenan, like one of the top Mattel people, like rescheduled a meeting so we could continue talking to us.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that was really cool. I love that a lot. There's just I could go on forever. Like if you give me like after 150, obviously if we weren't gonna wrap it all up, I could very happily sit on a Zoom call, like, and you give me like the names of each of them in order. I could talk about each one for like a good 2 hours. Maybe I'm just a boring person, but it's just good. I'm happy.
This kind of goes into the last question, but also says favorite interview moment. Anybody anything different to add to that? I guess mine did answer favorite moment as well.
I don't know if mine counts as an interview moment, but like it was cumbersome, but going through all of the season 2 interviews to get the thumbnail to like do the collage, looking at them all as a collective, I was like, wow, like this is cool. Almost like you step back when you can finally see, the artwork that you've been working on. Not to sound like it's, oh, look at this, it's unlike Da Vinci, but you know what I mean. When you've been working on a project, let's say it's like Lego, each interview is a Lego brick. You like the Lego bricks, they're fun to do, but when you can step back and go like, holy crap, this is Bowser's castle,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that was cool.
I agree with you. Anything else to add? Because I know we kind of went over favorite interviews and stuff like that. So is there any particular moments to point out?
I don't know if I can say it, but before the news of Haunted High Rise came out, the three of us kind of like knew prior to that, and it was just the three of us that knew that. And like keeping that secret, that'll probably be cut out now, but
no, we didn't say a name that can be left in. I think it's fair to say that we went through and continue to go through some pain with that movie.
Like we were on call after the interview for like a good half an hour after trying to process it.
I think it's fair to say every Haunted High Rise interview or remote link to, we've had to take some time.
Like how much, like canonically, but apart from Warner Brothers people, we were the first to hear the term Scooby Doo on the Haunted High Rise.
I just love how that transpired as well, because it was like, oh yes, so there was this project, and then you I'm sure you said a question like someone made a statement along the lines of, the thing with Haunted High Rise, not Haunted High Rise,
Trick or Treat,
not Trick or Treat, Holiday Haunt, was we have a title so we can be like Save Holiday Haunt, and then the next interview we did after that, somebody said Haunted High Rise twice in that interview, like they'd heard us say that and they're like, here's the name.
Here's what I was,
and it just
being
transpired
a bit sneaky. If at that point when they, because I'll keep it anonymous, because I don't know what it is, like when they said Haunted High Rise for the first time, if we went Haunted High Rise, I would have been scared that they would have gone, oh, was I not meant to say that? Is that not known? Like, can we edit that out? So a part of it is obviously you don't want to like bait people out, but to act stoic when you get new information, just so it's like, okay, we've got that on recording now.
But it's also a little bit like they're comfortable because we're not like, oh my gosh, it's like, oh yeah, okay, like it's normal, so we can just keep going.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But there's certainly been some conversations about that, and like I will admit, I remember the moment where it was like, I'm sure it wasn't off the back of the Trick or Treat interview, and we're like, I just wish you could have all worked together on another project. This was so perfect. And somebody was like, well. I was like, okay. Yeah.
I'll never tell who it was either.
No.
But I remember. It defined me.
Okay. Dan, do you have an interview moment that you want to kind of single out or point out?
I don't know if it would count because it wasn't actually during the con, it was afterwards, but after the Jennifer Hale interview when she was talking to us individually, that was really cool. I really liked that. Obviously, it wasn't part of the interview, but that was a great moment for me.
Yeah, I think after the interviews are some of the best parts. Like I'd say some of my best memories of the interviews is either speaking with the guest after or speaking with each other after, because it's like, oh my gosh, can you believe this? Oh my gosh, did you know that? Like, it's just it's almost like as soon as the guest leaves, sometimes you suddenly breathe because you've been so focused on it, and it's like, okay, I can go back to being a Scooby fan now and like just be amazed by all this stuff, which is always really nice.